Hey everybody, it's Nichol Magouirk, and today I'm here at the Simon Says Stamp blog to share a layout showcasing how you can use Simon Says Stamp exclusive dies stamps as well as Kelly Purkey exclusive stamps to create customized Project Life stamped and die cut layout spreads for any of your Project Life type projects that you might be creating, or even any scrapbooking type projects that you might be working on. So what I did was I always start with laying out my project, how I'm going to be, or how I envision my project to work out. I've already pre-printed my photos, and I've laid out some of the dies and the stamps that you see here, as well as some of the elements that I'm using that are pre-printed, like some of the journaling cards from the June-July project kit from Kelly Purkey. This is just to kind of give me a good starting point to get going on my page, and then I kind of lay out some of the dies and the stamps and things, and that gets the ball rolling for me. So I'm starting here, and I treat each of the pockets for my Project Life as an individual little page or project. So I'm just going to, a lot of them are repetitive, so I won't be showing each of them individually, or I'll be speeding through some of them that are very similar, but some of these I'm going to show you how I put them together. So for this one, which is my week card, I'm just dressing up this pre-printed card from the June-July Kelly Purkey project kit that says Summer 2013 with my week. And this is the stamp set included in the project kit. It has the week stamp and then a set of numbers that are just perfect. And then that cute little heart is from the Bon Appetit stamp set from Kelly Purkey. So you can see how mixing and matching the stamps you have is so quick and easy. Then I'm just taking a little glossy accents and adhering some sequins. I try to keep my embellishing fairly non-bulky in my Project Life album because I'm adding so many layouts to my album. I don't want my album to get too bulky. That's just a personal preference. Lots of people use multiple albums. I just try not to because I have 3 children and I have lots of albums anyway. So I like to kind of keep it to a minimum, but every once in a while I go crazy. It just depends on how I'm feeling that week. But I tend to use a lot of dies and stamps and things that create dimension without a lot of bulk. And I'll show you a few tips along the way throughout this video of what I do to get that feel of dimension, because I love dimension just like you guys do. So I try to find little ways to get that feeling of dimension even though I'm not adding a lot of bulky embellishments. Now you can see I've stamped one of Kelly's cute little arrow type stamps here on just a piece of, or scrap piece of white cardstock. And I cut it out with some scissors, and then I stapled it to one of my photos. I like to embellish my photos too, and I just love the number set of dies from Simon Says Stamp. So I die cut that from some paper. Now the arrow stamp is from Kelly's Right Now stamp set, and of course all of these are linked in below the project here on the Simon Says Stamp blog. And then I embellished with a few sequins again. The larger sequins are from Studio Calico, and the flat sequins are from Simon Says Stamp and Kelly Purkey. Now I am going to embellish this pre-printed card from the project kit just a little bit more using the B 3x4 stamp set that came out here just a little bit ago. So I stamped the word B with the Hero Arts Pale Tomato ink, and then I'm going to stamp the word Always and the word Yourself with the Hero Arts Cup of Joe brown ink. I really love how you can use these stamps that were created for card makers primarily for your scrapbooking type projects. This B set is especially great for any type of scrapbooking project. And then this stamp phrase here that says "You make me smile" is the Banner Sayings Simon Says stamp 4x6 stamp set, and it has a cute little smiley face at the end, and I'm going to stamp that with my favorite new Hero Arts Mint Julep ink. And it is another phrase that, or "You make me laugh," sorry. It is another phrase that is perfect for scrapbooking type projects or project life type projects just because of the phrase. So always look at your card making stamp sets because they might be able to work for your scrapbooking projects as well. Now I decided I don't do very well with my handwritten journaling. I like including my handwritten journaling in project life. I don't necessarily do it use my own handwriting when in my other scrapbooking, in my traditional scrapbooking, I guess I should say. But in project life, I do try to use a mix of both computer-generated journaling and my own handwriting. And I don't write in a straight line if I don't have lines or grid or something. And so this little line stamp that came in the project kit from Kelly Purkey this month is perfect for stamping your own lines. So I used the soft brown shadow ink from Hero Arts and stamped a couple of lines, and that just helps me a lot. I just have a lot of trouble. I don't like how my handwriting looks if I don't have lines to help guide me. And I ran out of room, so I just used a sticky note, you can see, to mask that off as well. I didn't want to have my lines go all the way to the edge. Again, using a little glossy accents, I'm going to dress up that journaling card with a few sequins. And I did add a little star accent from Basic Gray to the middle of that larger sequin. Now I'm going to die cut some of these life bubbles. And these are what prompted this entire project. When these life bubble dies came out from Simon Says Stamp here a while back, I thought these were the perfect thing for project life. They are sized appropriately for the 3x4 pockets on the project life page protectors, and they are just such a fun type of product. I love thought bubbles anyway, whether they be stamps or stickers or anything like that. And so I just loved the size of these because you could die cut photos, you can create your thought bubbles out of any type of paper that you want so that it is customized and matches your project and your page and your journaling and your photos exactly. And I just really love that. And I love that this particular, these two that I'm using here, both the horizontal and the vertical, that they have the little line outline for those. So you can kind of give them a little bit more definition, if you will. So I die cut the inside out of one color, and then I die cut the line out of a darker kind of wood grain 6x6 paper. And I'm only using 2 paper pads for my project. I'm using the Pure 6x6 paper pad from Crepe Paper and Lakeside from Pebbles. That's another great thing about Project Life is you don't really have to have full sheets of 12x12 paper. If you maybe aren't a traditional 12x12 scrapbooker and you're just kind of getting into scrapbooking or Project Life from the card making world, and so you maybe already have a lot of 6x6 paper pads and things, you can jump right in because everything kind of works and fits. You don't have to have any large sized paper because everything is sized already. You might already have the supplies you need. So I stamped this Love Lives Here from another Kelly Purkey stamp set, and I'm using the Mint Julep. I love that the pure crepe paper kind of looks like water and stuff has spilled all over this ledger paper. I think that's really fun. Now I'm not going to stamp lines on this particular paper because it has that grid that I was talking about a little bit ago on the journaling. So I can use the lines already on the paper to help me not go all wonky with my journaling. Now I'm using the U 3x4 Simon Says stamp set to stamp the U are the best part of my day. I have used this on another project quite a while back for another scrapbooking page, and it is perfect. It's a perfect phrase for a scrapbooking type project. I just love it. And this is a journaling card about my kids and something that they were doing, and that's just a perfect phrase for, you know, family or someone that you love. So I just like that a lot. Now I want my thought bubbles to not look like they're just floating in the pockets. I want them to kind of look like they're coming off of the edge. So I'm going to adhere that just slightly off the bottom edge of this pocket, or of this insert rather. I want to kind of center it there. And then I'm going to take my Zig glue pen and add some glue to this delicate little outline die cut, and then I'll glue that right around the inside of the life bubble, and then I'll just trim off any of that excess. And I should mention that the insert that I'm using that has the grid lines on it, which would be lovely used on its own, is an insert from the Kelly Purkey June-July project kit. So I really just used all kinds of things from Simon Says Stamp. There's just so many great products rather, that you can mix and match and use together to create a really incredible project life pages. Now the stamp set included in the project kit also has these awesome little circle days of the week stamps, and I'm including those throughout my project life page spread for this week as well. I'm going to stamp this one with the Cup of Joe ink, and then I'll take my Copic multi-liner and write my journaling. And for some reason I had a hard time figuring out what I was going to write there, so I just turned my camera off and wrote. I don't know if I had stage fright or what, but had to think about it for a minute. Next I am going to work. I decided I wanted to add a little bit more embellishing or color to this particular journaling card and the rest of the journaling cards that I am going to do as I go along on my page spread. And so I use these adorable little hearts, another exclusive Simon Says stamp die. This is one that gets a ton of use. I have used this a lot. And I'm going to use my Zig glue again to adhere these hearts. Figure out where I want to put all my little hearts. I'm going to glue those to my journaling card. And this is one of those tips that I was talking about earlier for adding embellishment without bulk. I love to use my glossy accents to make my die cuts have that raised, glossy, sticker-like appearance. So I'll just set that aside to dry for a little bit, and really that's dry within like 30 minutes or so. So it dries pretty quickly. Again, I'm going to cut out some more life bubbles for journaling cards. I'm going to just speed through this because it is the same thing that I did previously. Just doing it out of a few different colors. And I do save all of those other pieces because they'll work for other projects. And then I'll put together the journaling card that I'm going to do here. And this journaling card is a little bit bigger because it's a 4x4. the left side of my spread is the back side of the week before, and I used a sheet protector, or a pocket page rather, from Simple Stories, and so it has a really cool page design that includes 3x4 and 4x4 pockets, and I love that it works great with the Becky Higgins line of Project Life, which I'm using on the right side, that has the more traditional, what you're thinking of Project Life maybe, with the 4x6 and the 3x4. So I like to mix and match all of my products and, you know, use them all together. So now that I have that little journaling card, I want to stamp one of those other little arrows from Kelly Purkey. And this one says Right Now, which is from that Right Now stamp set. And I stamped it on just one of the little 3x4 craft cards that came in the project kit. And originally you could see that I stamped it with the pale tomato ink on my journaling card insert there, and I just didn't like how it looked. I think it looks cuter hanging over the top of the life bubble, so I decided to just cover that up. Instead of redoing the whole thing, I'm just going to cover it up. So I stamped it on the craft, again with the pale tomato Hero Arts ink, and I like that much, much better. I also stamped the word homemade from the Bon Appetit Kelly Purkey stamp set. Now, I had more photos than I had pockets for journaling, so I printed some journaling on one of the Kelly Purkey stickers simply by cutting my sticker and the backing paper and adhering it to my printer paper and running it through my printer, and that just printing my journaling right on there, and then I added the sticker directly to my photo. So that's another way of adding additional journaling to your Project Life spread if you need to. And I did that a couple places in my album because I had quite a bit more photos and things than I had places for this particular week. Now I'm going to cut this cute little sunshine die from this striped crepe paper, the Pure paper. And this is one of the newest Simon Says Stamp exclusive dies. And I didn't worry too much about lining it up because I'm just going to take my trimmer and completely cut that off, cut each side off so the sun rays are all independent from the sides, I guess, if that makes sense. I guess I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. I'm also going to cut one of these apothecary labels from another one of the crepe paper 6x6 papers. And then I'm going to take this cute badge included in the project kit for June and July from Kelly Purkey, and I'll be placing that on the middle to make a sunshine embellishment accent for one of the pockets in my page. So I'm just going to carefully line up that sunshine and cut all of the sides off for my little sunshine accent here. You can do it any way you want to. This is just the way I decided to do it. And I missed a little bit, so I just need to trim a couple of those off. I was trying to get as close to the edge as possible and I missed, and so just trim that up just a tiny little bit. And then I'm going to take one of her craft cards from the kit and I'll layer that on there. So that'll be a cute little accent for one of the pockets. Find my badge. So I think that's fun. This is a really cute, fun accent for a summer themed page. Now I'm going to speed through this. This is just more custom stamping for some of those life or thought bubble style journaling cards. I created these exactly like the one that I created earlier, using lots of different stamps, either from Kelly Purkey or Simon Says Stamp, mixing and matching all of my stamps from the either collection there. I also stamped a few on some scraps of paper, cut them out and added them to there, just customizing and embellishing. And for my embellishing, I just added sequins and things again. So nothing new. I try to keep it pretty consistent throughout this spread with my little hearts again and sequins and things. It's just really fun, easy. And if your glossy accents gets clogged like mine tends to do, I just use a straight pen to unclog it. My straight pen also helps me add those tiny little pieces to my project. You probably saw me use that so that my fingers don't get in the way. I love all these little sequins and things. And they go a long way. You get so many of them, so that's also kind of a nice little Purkey things there. So just finishing up all of these little journaling cards. I did these all at once after I showed the initial one of how I created them. That way I could get them all finished up. Then glue my sunshine accent. Now I did decide that I thought it needed just a little embellishing beyond the cute little sun design. And I did mount the yellow on another brown die cut centerpiece just to kind of help break it up from the striped background. So I just added some of those hearts to this piece and added some glossy accents to them. Nothing, you know, crazy or anything like that. Not a whole lot, but I really think those hearts just add a fun touch to this design. Okay, finally, I'm going to add just a little bit of die cutting and stamping to this last 4x6 photo. So I'm going to use some of these thought bubbles from one of the very first die cut and stamp sets. Sometimes I throw my dies to see if the die cuts will pop out, but it didn't, so I used my straight pen. I probably should have just done that in the first place. And then I'm going to take the coordinating stamp set that was created to go with that, and I'm going to stamp You Totally Rock using the Hero Arts Cup of Joe ink, and I'm going to stamp that right on that thought bubble. This is another one of those stamp sets that a lot of these stamps work just as well for scrapbooking as they do for card making. Add a little adhesive and then adhere that to the top right corner of my photograph, and then I'm going to trim that excess off. And then I'll add a few gemstones or other embellishments. And I'm also going to add another one of the Kelly Purkey journaling stickers with some pre-printed or some computer-generated rather journaling on it to the bottom left corner of the photograph. This was another one of those photos that I had run out of room on or pockets on my page for journaling. So I had room on the photograph, so I added the journaling on a sticker and adhered it right to the photograph. I hope that this project has given you some ideas on how to incorporate exclusive Simon Says Stamp dies and stamps in your scrapbooking and project life layouts. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.